Hi, it's Teresa with Crafty with Teresa. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of show you some of the Stampin' Up! Products that I currently have. As some of you, or if you're new, you may not know, I used to be a close to my heart maker, and now I've moved over to Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator. And I received a box of supplies from them, and what I'm showing you here today in this first part of this video are some of the 3x4 cards, as well as some of the 4x6 cards that they sent me in the Thoughtful Journey of Memories card pack. I believe that's the name of it. And a process that I have to go through when I have new products. I'll also show you two quick and easy cards, but this pack that I'm going to show you here today will actually be used in card making as well as making scrapbook pages. So it's very versatile, but I wanted to show you a few things, some organizational tips today, as well as a few of those quick and easy cards here at the end. So let's get to crafting. In the description box, I'll provide all of the item numbers for you so you can take a look at this. If you're interested and you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love for you to join our team. I'll put that information in the description box as well. Loved this pack, fell in love with it, and I thought it'll be great for both scrapbooking and cards. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm kind of showing you what they look like, which I've already fallen in love with them, as I said, and I'm separating them. I'm taking half of the stack and I'm going to use it in card making, and the other half I'm going to use on my scrapbook pages. So now I'm just grabbing them, throwing them in a clear plastic bag, and this is how I start when I'm in that situation where I just need a place to start. So that's what I did. I grabbed those. Then I also thought, I don't know that I've ever showed this on any of my videos, but I have a Dymo label maker, and one of the things I do when I'm starting is I need to kind of think through how to keep it organized so that when I'm doing my videos I can quickly go back and look and see what is the name. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually creating the stack for the cards and the stack for the scrapbook pages. But for the actual name, I'll reuse that bag. So what I do is I just take it, and I'm sorry this got out of focus a little bit, but I take that and I put it on one of my white strips. I have a ton of white strips that are always for me cutting down things. And so I'll take that, put that on there, and keep it in there until I'm ready to actually work on that designer paper on those cards or scrapbooks. So I'll label one side cards, same thing. Took that Thoughtful Journey Moments and put it on a white strip and added it inside of that envelope, and now when I'm ready to get started, I know exactly which paper set I'm working with. Now I'll link this in the description box below, but here is the Dymo label maker that I use, and I absolutely love this label maker. I like the fact that the letters are big enough and it's quick and easy. Now, I wanted to quickly go through some of these Stampin' Up! Supplies that I've recently received. Oh, I'm loving the paper trimmer. Absolutely love it. I also have the Stampin' Seal adhesive. Love that also. I grabbed a few of my other Stampin' Up! Supplies, and I'll try to use those throughout this video. I'll be showing you two cards today, and here's just kind of a sneak peek of what they're going to look like, and these are more on the beginner lines. I do have some additional cards that I'll be making, but they'll be more of an intermediate, kind of advanced. They'll be doing some stenciling, and they'll be doing some other more advanced items. When I say intermediate and advanced, I don't really mean that it's someone who knows more about card making. It's just more of an investment because you've now picked up other items. Simple is just as well, which is why I'm going to go through this for you today. I'm making my own border. Again, I don't have the cardstocks yet, but I'll be getting those as I go along. I'm going to be using daubers because what I have is the color Blackberry Bliss, but I only have it in a Stampin' Spot. So I'm going to grab a dauber. I don't buy new daubers. I just repurpose the color that matches or is very, very close, because you can see I tried to get that color off and it's already not even coming off. So I think I mentioned this earlier, but the one that I created up here on the top is one I created earlier. However, I wanted a little bit more of a margin around the 3x4. So I'll grab this larger piece of paper. I'm going to cut that down. I'm going to create another one that has a 1/2 inch border around the 3x4 pattern paper, which are card packs, I believe. I'm still learning the terminology, so I believe it's called a card pack. And I just look at it as what a great way to quickly put a card together. And that's what we're doing. So I'm going to grab this dauber and put it into the stamping spot. Just kind of swirl it around the edges. I need a little bit of that edge, a 1/2 inch. I'll start light and then I'll get darker as I go. I also grabbed a post-it note, just a random post-it note that I had sitting there to kind of make sure that I don't ink my fingers up and touch anything else. But this dries pretty quick. It's just a habit. So I'll quickly speed through this, but I'm basically trying to get the color I'm looking for that goes with those flowers in that 3x4 piece. And by the way, I won't throw that other one away. I will be using that for some of my other cards. I'm going to go ahead and kind of lay it down, see if I like it, and think, did I need to make it darker? Does it look okay? And I think it looks just fine. Now we'll also grab another marker, and I'm going to grab something from my stash, which is a little butterfly that I've had just randomly sitting in one of my little boxes. And I thought that would be really nice to put on the top of that corner to kind of look like it's getting ready to land on one of those flowers. One other thing I wanted to show you today is one of the things that I like about the Stampin' Up! Catalog is they have this color theory wheel that is amazing. And what I did is I grabbed that color theory wheel and I jotted down just an organizational tip if this helps you at all, but in my case I needed to know what I have to order next. And so I'm looking at this going, okay, I've got some Stampin' Right markers, and you'll see I have a few of those on the side. And then I have some of those stamping spots, so I just put myself a little list, if you will, and put SS and SW on those that I have, so that I know when I place my next order, I don't have to worry about it. I know exactly what I have. So then, after I've done that, I just wanted to show you that real quick so you could see just how many colors are available. In my case, I know that I'm going to want something like that pretty in pink, which thankfully I have, because I think it's going to go better. I felt like I didn't want to put any more of the purple colors. I felt like I had plenty there with that border. So I'm just going to take a few pieces of the wings and add that pretty in pink Stampin' Right marker onto it, and I think it turned out just great because it's nice and subtle. And the whole card is kind of soft in my opinion. Again, I grabbed that from my stash. So I'm sure if you have something else, a little bird or anything like that, that would be great to put in that corner, or just leave it blank. I'm a firm believer in make it work for you. Make it your own style. Next, in the paper pumpkin box, these are the sentiments that I received in that box. Loved them all. They're perfect. They're nice and neutral. I'll probably be taking these over to the senior center and pass those out and let them be used by the staff there to give to some of those residents. So I grabbed it, and I'm just kind of stamping off here to see how it's going to turn out. And then I used the pebbled path that came in that box and stamped the sentiment, "Hello, friend." Now, this is just real quick and easy here. I'll just go through and I'll add that faux border, we'll call it. Add that on there. Put some of the dimension available through Stampin' Up to put on the back of the butterfly. I'll put one down the center and put two smaller ones under the wings so it will keep its shape should someone decide to mail it. Then last but not least, I did show you that I had that little black marker. On the finished product, I changed my mind after I had done this video. I changed my mind and decided I want just a little bit more around that border, that white border. And I decided to put a little bit of doodling around the border. If you know me and you've been watching me, you know I like to doodle. So there you have it, our finished card. Now I thought I'd show you a second card today. One that, obviously the first one was very feminine, so I thought we'd show the second card, which is one that is more on the masculine side. So same thing, we're going to use the same sentiment pack from the Paper Pumpkin package, these dimensionals. We're going to actually use this kind of as a template, kind of, and I'll explain that in just a minute. This was one of the pieces, the 3x4 cards, and this was the other side, which is beautiful, but I think I already have a card already set up with that other side, plus it's very similar to the other one that we did. But I thought this was beautiful. I'm trying to pull in that striped paper into a masculine shape because I kind of want it to be a backdrop for that truck focal point. This collection, I believe, is called a Sweet Collection, and it is from Country Woods, and I have already looked at this and thought, oh my, I'm going to be able to do a lot of cards and scrapbook pages from this suite. So that's a piece of that cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to do this one landscape. So let's get started. We'll go through and we'll start with this, which is, I'm just going to cut it. It's going to be hard to see, I think, in the video. Based on these measurements, I looked at this and thought I can make the same thing. So what I did is I divided this in half. So I put little marks here at 1 1/2 because this is 3 inches. Then I divided this in half, and this is 2 inches. So I'm going to show you a couple ways that I came up with this design. The one thing I wanted to show you, I went ahead and made these cuts. I'm sorry this is hard to see on this mossy green and shaded spruce, but later you'll see I grabbed a white piece, marked it up so it'll be easier to see. This truck is from an older stamp set from Close to My Heart, and I can look and see if that's available, but if not, there is something similar to it currently available in Stampin' Up, and that information will again be in the description box below. So this will be colored with Colorista markers. I will be getting some markers from Stampin' Up, but that's what I have available right now. And so that's going to be the goal. We're going to have this background laying down there. This will be on the top. Place it on here. We'll color this. Place it on here. And then I'm not sure yet exactly what's going to go with this. We're going to work through that. So that initial card was 3 by 4. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 by 4, and then I'm going to show you how a couple different ways to do it. If you're like me and you don't like to measure, sometimes it's easier to create a template. We'll do that real quick. These are just my scraps sitting around, so I just went ahead and grabbed a piece that I knew was 4 by 4. You to see. Hopefully you can see this in the video. So we could do it one of two ways. You could take this and you could make yourself the template. You could draw the lines here. Do it this way. Draw your lines here and then just make your cuts. The other way you can do it is you could take one of the corners. Now I've already done this corner, but you could take one of the corners and just draw the template this way. Right here. And let me show you how I came up with this design. I went over here, oops, that's going to be hard for you to see. Let's see if I can make it work somehow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, I'm going to put this in half, and I don't have my ruler, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do and then show you a little bit closer here. So if you can see this, I'm going to do this in half, so it's 3 inches, so we want 3 inches. So at 1 1/2. So basically we're going to do this. Again, I don't have my ruler. I think I left it at the senior center last time I was there. So I'll have to go back and get that. It'll be there for my next class. Then I'll go through and I will do this at 2 inches. And to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it up like that. So that's how I came up with the starting point. Then what I decided, okay, so I want this design, and it's really hard to see with these stripes. So what I did then is I just went half here. So the 1/2 inch mark here would be at 1 inch. And then I drew the line from here to make that work. Make sure I have it straight. The line from here to here. And now you can cut this piece out, and you could use this piece to make it. So say you didn't really want to go through all that. You've cut this one piece out. Now you just go through and put it in each of the corners. Hold on. See? Now you have your template. Okay, we're going to fix this. I made a mistake there. Now I've got it right. You know you need to have it right there so that these line up. So, wanted to show you that. I'm going with, if you don't have a template and this is a design that you think you'll do again, which I do use this quite often on masculine cards. So if it's something that you think you're going to do more than once, I create a template and then I just laminate it and use it over and over again. And you've seen that in a couple of my videos where I've created a template. Now let's go ahead, let's color the truck. I'm going to use these pencils for this coloring. This is going to be super quick and easy. Just want something that kind of brings in the browns. And so I'll go through here and I'll do a little bit of color. I'll probably do light on the bottom, dark on the top, maybe. If not, I have others of these. I'll speed through this process because it's just simple colored pencils. Now I really didn't want to make this card difficult because in my mind, less is better when working with masculine cards. So that's my personal preference. So you'll see that I fidget with this, I look, I try to decide, and what I finally came up with is this card where I basically did a lot of tearing to make this card just a little bit more rustic. I know these cards were simple, but I did want you to see how beautiful these are and how you can make some very simple but cute cards with these card packs. I have more to make. I believe I have 10 more cards to make from this card pack. Those cards I'll be using embossing folders and some stenciling and maybe even some texture items like paste. Let me know if you'd like me to put a video out with the remaining papers from this pack. I don't usually put out too many scrapbook layouts, but I may try my hand at videoing that for you. I can already see my grandchildren's photos on those beautiful watercolor designs doing some spring activities. If you're interested in joining our Simply Fun Club, please feel free to reach out to me at craftywiththeresa@gmail.com. If you have ideas or suggestions you'd like to see or would like me to share, I'd love to hear from you. Well, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you can see the new videos as they come in. Oh, and like and comment because that helps YouTube to notice me. Thank you again for joining me. Until next time, have a great day.